Good morning. Today, apart from being Saturday, is the day that we start on our cladding. So this is the wall that we're going to start on. This faces west. Most of our weather comes straight into the side of this face of the house. We've got a few things already set up. We've got some buttons on. We've got some ventilation strips. So you can see in the side of that there's a cavity. Underneath there's some holes. And the idea of that is ventilation from the bottom, which is another detail here. We've got this plastic J-track. It's got these slits in the bottom of it. Any moisture can still come down the moisture barrier and come out of there. That will also allow air to come in at the bottom. It'll chimney up through the batten cavity, and then it'll make its way out through those holes at the top. So we've got to get some more ventilation strip on this side and on the other end over here. Right, so we've made a whole heap of man glitter, so we're going to probably blow that out with the compressor. But what we've done is I've taken the liberty of flattening it this way as well. This guy here was a little bit thicker than the others, so there would have been a little bit of a bow in the cladding. I mean, I'm no perfectionist, but hey, for 5 minutes work now, it won't annoy me in the future looking at something that's bent and shouldn't have been put on like that. What I've done is I've sanded. You can hopefully see the difference in the surface of that timber there to where I've sanded it. So we just ran over it quickly with the little danger wheel, and you can see it sort of just starting there. That's just roughed up that surface a little bit, hoping that the adhesive might stick to this surface a little bit better. Need to just rough up these guys a little bit. I have flattened the bottoms so they're all nicely straight down this way. Some of the screws actually did suck in a little bit more too, so I might go around and just tweak all of the screws to make sure that it is tight. So I'll drive this guy in, scratch up some of these guys, and we'll move on to those vent strips at the top.
Level.
Why do you sound surprised? Chris, your post is level. Good on ya. So we didn't put that up. That's probably why it's level. I'll edit that out. after much faffing about, we have screwed and unscrewed and re-leveled and leveled again and unscrewed and re-screwed and drilled holes and anyway, mucked around is what I'm saying. We got this guy pretty darn good. So this is the corner piece that goes underneath the cladding. That cap clips into these fins. So the fins on the inside of the cap clip onto the fins coming out this way. Anyway, it took a little bit of mucking about, but we're there. We have it flush with the face of the battens, so the boards will just go in there nicely, and it is very level. And Chris did a fantastic job with these posts. If you didn't see that video, I'll put a link up there to the day that these boys came down from HRC Welding and Fabrication. Came down and put up all of these posts, welded them off to our cast-in plates down the bottom in the concrete pads. Got this huge beam swung into place with their truck. Another beam across the other end, and of course this guy above us here comes into these posts. Those posts are absolutely bang on. They did a fantastic job of that. They're bolted off to the footings and screwed off in a number of places to the wall of the house, so everything's tied off nicely. And now we've got our first corner on, so I think officially we're ready for our no, we're not. Eave ventilation next. Right, this goes against the battens and up against the soffit. That'll do me. Join me for the first look at our cladding. So this is a product made by Cementel, which is a CSR product. I'm thinking we might actually start with the left-hand edge of this board up against the window, keep the factory edge against something that's square there. Hopefully square, it's square, but I quite like it. It's just a 3 little V grooves down the center of it. It's fairly plain. Hopefully I'm going for the monolithic sort of look. I'm hoping that there's enough vertical lines in the boards, there's enough vertical lines with the windows. I'm hoping it'll all just match up nicely and look, I don't know, solid. Let's go with that. So we're ready for our first panel, hopefully. I think, maybe. We've got some goop on all of the battens. We've got a line of goop down on the corner. We've got a line of goop on the edge of the window frame. We've sort of sat it up there before and it fits in there quite nicely. We've got a couple of packers on the bottom flashing. I don't really want to put too much weight on there, but we'll sort of try and keep it packed off the flashing evenly. We've got our wires pulled through, we've got some holes ready for them to go in, so we'll see how we go. It was a little bit of a gamble as to how everything was actually going to line up. We can measure everything as tight as we like and make allowances for everything, but the difference of timber thickness and all of that, it was just always going to be get it as close as we can, and we might need to make up the rest of it. But that's come in pretty smart actually, so I'll need to pin the rest of this off, but that's nice and close up in the eave vent up the top. It's a nice neat line all the way through, and with a fine bead of silicone around down the side, I think we've even got a pretty decent gap along the bottom. Yeah, not too bad. So, first sheet done. That's a good milestone. We'll see how we go with the rest of them, hey? So we're just sealing the edges that we've cut so that they are not absorbent like raw cement sheet would be. We've got this little guy done on the side here. We're about to put a full sheet in here, I hope. We've got, you can probably tell the reflection, she's getting a bit dark out that way. And we might be in for a little bit of rain coming our way. We're going to try and get it in, I think. With all the prep work and the organising and the goop all over everything, everywhere, and trying to hold a sheet that was too heavy for one hand and trying to not put too much weight on packers on a flashing that is not structural. And anyway, after all of that, I forgot to turn the camera on, so sorry. But anyway, we've got a wall, sort of. Hooray! There's a little join on the side here. So this is just a separate panel here. So that had to go on first because that shiplap goes underneath this guy that comes over the top. Managed to wangle that into place. That was a bit of a task actually, but sealed up nicely against the window. So I'll get some masking tape and make this a nice neat edge down here. Put some goop in there, and then that is pretty much watertight. It just needs a lick of paint. You're listening to me, aren't you? You know what I'm talking about. You've been so helpful today, haven't you? So helpful. Nope. Anyway, it's cold and windy and it's time for dinner. Maybe not for a dog. When's your dinner time, Charlie? 7 o'clock. You've got 35 minutes. Just gonna show you inside quickly. Well, first of all, we shouldn't go past this. It looks smart. Really loving how the lines work out. Managed to get a decent neat bead down each side of the windows. It's a nice neat bead with that painter's tape down the side, so a little bit neater than the others. But I just thought I'd take you inside because the light is really nice today. We've got a very clear morning. It's a bit crisp, but it's beautiful in here. Just show you how the sun is just pouring in those easterly windows. So this is master bedroom. This is the shower in here. So you're in the shower at the moment. If the sun comes round just a little bit more, we're going to have sun streaming in this window. Well, if it's not foggy and if it's not too cloudy, we'll have sun streaming in the window right into the shower, so you could actually shower in the sunshine. So looking forward to that. But also in the bedroom, not sure where the bed's going yet. We've had discussions about cupboards going there, but I've been told that my mind has changed. So the cupboards might actually go over there now, and the bed might go against this wall behind me, which would be nice, waking up to this every morning. But anyway, it's just a nice morning to show you the effect of the sun. We're getting full coverage on the slab here, although obviously it's not very strong sunshine at the moment, but it is a nice bit of warmth coming into the house. And a little bit in Erica's sewing room just to taunt her first thing in the morning. So instead of going to work, you could sit in the sun and quilt all day, or sew things, or, you know, count your ribbons or something. As the sun gets lower in winter time, you obviously get more and more sun through these north-facing windows as the sun gets lower in the sky. About to go to work, but it's quite pleasant in here just in a t-shirt. Coming in from outside, it was a little cool outside. I'd probably put a jumper on if I was going to be out there for long. Funky door handles. I'm actually getting used to these doors and the way they work. How are you today, dog? Are you a good dog? Yes. Except for the dead things that you were eating last night. You are so gross. You are so happy about it. J channel fitted off, E ventilation fitted off, corner piece fitted off. So that's ready to take another sheet. I might need to pack out one of these battens in the middle here because this guy's quite chunky, and we've actually brought that out from the wall by putting that corner on there. That's ready for a piece of cladding just like these two. In due time, off to work. Yes, so a bit of a last ditch effort tonight before the sun. Well, the sun's still, well, it's set, it has set, but yeah, we managed to get this last panel on over here. It wasn't quite a full sheet wide, so we just had a little skinny piece to cut off, so that wasn't too bad. So nice flat. Is it flat? It seems to be flat. So that's really nice. Very happy with how they've come out. This is the western wall, like I've said, cops all of the weather. Very happy to have that sealed up, and actually sealed up, except for a couple of electrical holes. I think, I haven't actually checked this. I shouldn't show you guys first. I should check it out myself first, shouldn't I? And then decide whether to show you or not. Oh yeah, that's the gap we wanted. So very happy. We have some cladding. We really did work until the last light. It's one waterproof side. We need to get some paint on it, of course, but it's looking pretty smart. I like it. Anyway, that'll probably do for this one. We're going to have a day with Alex this week. Hopefully we might get some cladding on the pop-up. See what we get up to.